Right, so my 3 goals for next year are buying a Ferrari, making 1 million of passive income, and of course, running for president. Ladies and gentlemen, well, I keep them maybe for one of the following years, but in all seriousness, with yet another new year, let's talk about how we can set goals, how many goals you should have, and how you can possibly achieve them. And of course, I'm going to share with you my goals from 2022, as well as my future goals for 23. With this, let's get started. I think it's super important to have goals in life, because if you don't have a goal, you don't really know where you're going. You're basically just going with the flow. You will see what happens, right? Company have clear defined goals or KPIs, which basically tells them where they want to go by year end. And there's a clear mission of what people work towards. I think that's super important. And in our own lives, we should have the same, because otherwise we're just mindlessly moving around, trying a bit of this, a bit of that, versus if you have a clear goal, like you have when you drive your car, you put it on your GPS and you follow the GPS where you want to go, right? In life, that should be the same. Instead, the destination becomes your goals, where you want to go, and that you should have clearly outlined. And of course, you don't have to wait until the start of a new year to set your goals. You can also redefine them during the year. But I think it's a good principle and habit to get into. Do it a little bit before the end of the year to reflect on the past year, to kind of do a check-in and see how much of what you wanted to achieve did you actually accomplish. And then at the same time, visualize and think about where you want to see yourself in the coming year and what you want to achieve. And often I see people, when they do that, only touch things like finances or job related things. But we should do it really holistically, because we're not machines that only work every single day. At least I hope you don't. So let's do it more holistically. For some people that includes spirituality. For me, that's not so much important. But at the same time, health is my most important value. If I'm not healthy, I cannot do any of the rest. I cannot be good in my job, in my career, for my family, friends, etc. So health is my number one. At the same time, of course, I want to make money, grow my career, build my business, and then of course my private life, my loved ones, my friends, my family, my hobbies, that's something else I want to tackle. So for me, these are kind of the 3 big areas I build goals around. And whatever they are for you, you can share them, you don't have to share them. It's really up to you. A lot of people don't feel comfortable sharing them, and it's totally fine. But I think you should be accountable to yourself. You don't have to put it out there to the world to see and to judge, but if you don't write it down on paper, trust me, at the end of the year, you will not remember, especially if you have more than 3 goals. Let's say you have 10 goals, and I really recommend not to have much more than 10 goals, because if you have 50 goals, you basically have no goals. You're just going to be, all over the place. So you really want to kind of focus anywhere between 3 to 8 big goals. There's obviously a lot of steps to do in order to achieve the goal. And as we say, the journey is the goal itself, but you want to have something where you really can look at, ideally on a monthly or quarterly basis, or even at the end of the year, to see, did I accomplish any of them, how many of them, maybe all of them. And so writing it down is super important. And I'm a really digital person, so I don't really like writing it down in a diary. I prefer writing it down digitally. I use Apple Notes, but you can really use anything that is convenient to you. And by doing that over the years, now when I go back to my goals of 2016, 17, it's so great to see, where I came from, what I wanted to achieve in my life back then versus right now. And potentially, 10, 15, 20 years from now, what will my goals be then? Probably even more challenging. And so it's really nice to see that journey and evolution of your personal self over the years. So with this, I quickly run you through my goals for 2022. I just copied that into Google Docs. Usually I have it on Apple Notes, but it's just a bit more easier to see for you. So starting off with health, as you can see here, my goal was to be 80 kilograms. I used to be almost 92 at some stage, so my weight expanded quite a bit, unlike my investment portfolio. And actually I had that goal for probably the last 4 or 5 years, and sadly always missed it. Now, by the time I'm making this video, I have around 3 days to go until the end of the year. And I can tell you, by having done keto diet for the last 4 weeks, even during Christmas period, I'm now down. Last weight was 80.2. So technically, with the rounding error, it's actually 80 kilograms. So I might lose these 200 grams over the next 3 days anyways, but in my mind, already achieved the goal. So that's the first time. I'm really happy that finally I got there, and definitely I'm going to keep that going for the next year as well. Then I had a goal of daily exercise, and honestly, while that sounds great, actually I realized that's a little bit too ambitious, because obviously there are certain days when it's just not possible, or you have fallen sick, etc. So you don't want to feel bad by missing one single day out of 365 days that you didn't achieve your goal. So I think it should be within moderation. My goal is to move my body, definitely, and doesn't mean I have to hit the gym every single day. It can literally be just a walk, etc. But I want to move my body, and that's super, super important. So yes, I haven't really achieved it for every single day, but I have definitely made a conscious and physical effort and moved my body more. And that obviously also contributed to the overall weight loss. Another goal I had in 22 was to monetize my YouTube, which I'm really proud to say I have done quite early on in the year. You need around 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. And once you've done that, you can apply and then you can be part of the YouTube Partners Program and as such run ads on your videos and basically get passive income from it. I'm really happy with that. I made some money during the year, which is great. Obviously, doesn't really pay all the bills, but it's a nice little addition to my income. In line with my YouTube goals, another one was to get to the 5K milestone of subscribers. Well, I sadly missed that, but I'm actually still very happy with the growth. I'm now at 3,300 subscribers. A while back last year, I was well under 1,000. So yes, it's a slow growth. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Whenever I see the number goes up, it really makes my day. So if you haven't yet, then please subscribe to the channel. It really means the world to me. And I'm as passionate as ever to make those videos, grow the community, grow the channel, and bring some value to you. And in the process, build a bigger channel. Another goal I had was to build a house where I live right now in beautiful Lithuania. Sadly, that hasn't happened because the prices just went through the roof. Interest rates, for the most part, was still pretty low. So everybody kept buying and the prices went up just absolutely ridiculous. On top of it, the inflation. So honestly, it just didn't make sense. But at the same time, I'm super happy to have fully paid off my apartment in Dubai and actually rented it out. So I'm already getting passive income from that. And lastly, I had the goal and vision to make my own course. So I wanted to come up with some kind of investment course or crypto course or how to buy stocks course. I'm still super excited about this, but at the same time, I've been working quite a bit as well as making 2 YouTube videos every single week. So that just took a lot of time and haven't found the time to actually sit down and really make a course. So that's probably something I will be doing for next year. And yeah, I just focus right now on building the community, putting free content out there. I think is the way to go anyways, because there's so many sleazy salesmen and courses out there, which, I didn't want to be part of. Right, with this, let me share with you what I'm planning to do 2023, which I think is going to be an amazing year. It's going to be a tricky start. I think the first couple of months definitely going to be very, very challenging. A potential recession is on the way. Again, if people say, are we in a recession right now? If you ask that question, most likely we are not. We haven't really seen the big consequences of all those macroeconomic factors. We read about them, we feel some of it, but there hasn't really been so much pain on the street as we've seen in 2008, 2009. So I think actually there's going to be worse times ahead before the sun will shine again. But in the meantime, it's still important to set your goals and then work towards achieving those. Right, and here are my goals for 2023. So first of all, it's having a dialed in morning routine. Ideally, I want to go back to exercising in the morning, which just gives me so much more energy and I just feel amazing after doing it in the morning. I have done it for a while, then stopped, went back to the evenings, but now I actually want to go back to morning exercise because then, whatever happens in the evening, there can always be excuses and you always get trapped into something. So in the morning, it's done. And that's, as I say, my most important priority is my health. So that's why I might as well start with the morning routine. Secondly, I want to continue my keto diet. I've been doing it for a month now, already lost around 8 kilograms. I absolutely love it. I don't have any cravings. I feel mentally more sharp. I drink less coffees. I don't need naps. I just feel overall much better and it's not like I'm missing out on anything. The only thing I don't eat anymore is sweets and carbohydrates like pasta, bread, etc. Other than that, I can eat so much chicken, cheese, whatever I want. I enjoy it and I love it and I really don't miss anything. I also drink less alcohol, which is great. And I just overall feel better. So I don't want to make it like a 2-3 month thing, but instead like a full-time thing that becomes part of my lifestyle. Another goal I have is to increase my passive income, not from a job or a business, but basically pure passive income. Now, of course, you can always argue there's no such thing as pure passive income, but of course that's money that comes to me even if I don't actively work towards it. So here my goal is to make 5K a month, which will obviously help to pay my rent and my living expenses. That won't allow me the most lavish lifestyle, but at least my day-to-day expenses and my rent is covered. And then on top, I can obviously further work harder, continue to grow that and build businesses around it to make it more in the future. But to have this passively gives a nice level of comfort. In terms of YouTube, my goal is to continue putting out 2 videos a week for you guys. At the same time, grow the subscriber numbers to 10K, which is still going to be quite slow, but at least having the K letter behind my subscriber numbers would make me feel like I'm getting a bit more serious and other channels would maybe potentially reach out for collaborations, etc., which I'll be quite excited to get other YouTubers on or interview some industry experts. And sadly, some people may say it's a vanity metric, but having a certain subscriber count really helps to reach out and open doors. So I'm quite excited to grow that further next year. Then continuing on is to launch my online course, which I tried to do last year. I will really try to carve out some time, a week or so next year, where I really focus on doing that and start launching it. Again, it can be at the low price point. It's not about making massive amounts of money, but having recently bought a course myself, I can see if somebody buys it, you're definitely more committed to watching it and learning it and taking action. So for me, having gone through the experience myself, I can see how it really can help people. So I'm not sure yet what is the topic going to be, but I think it will be super exciting to have some kind of course to share with people and help them to grow in their lives. Then at the same time, I really want to launch my agency, which I'm at the moment in the process of building up and launching eventually. So now I'm doing all the groundwork so that next year I can really actively go out and start approaching clients, get business in, and start getting some revenues and profits going. So that will be yet another big goal for me. Then on a personal note is getting married. Yes, guys, finally I'm getting married. I never thought I would. I was actually against marriage for quite a while because my parents separated. But now, having been with my fiance for almost 5 years and myself not getting younger, I really think it's time. I really look forward to have an amazing partner. She's really driven, entrepreneurial, builds up so many businesses, and that's really inspiring for me as well. So I'm really excited to finally get married to her. Actually, we're gonna get married in Barcelona, so that's not cheap. So I'm also saving for that a little bit. So it's gonna be exciting and yeah, quite a big step and change in my life. And lastly, same as I tried last year, which didn't work out, is to buy an apartment in Vilnius, the city where I live now, where I said the prices have been so high, but in recent times with the interest going up, mortgages becoming more expensive, and those people who bought at those low interest rates are now really struggling to repay. Because imagine, even if you paid 500 euros in a month back then for your monthly mortgage, now that could be 1,000 or even 1,500 euros that you have to pay to the bank. So a lot of people started defaulting on the payments. They sell the property and move into smaller places. That means a lot of real estate is becoming available again, and that in turn drives the price down. So if you have some cash on the sidelines, which I have started accumulating, I can then look, okay, if there's something coming up that fits the budget and our desire, what we're looking for, we're definitely going to buy a nice piece of apartment, hopefully in the city center. And I really look forward to owning more real estate in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to leave you with this. It's most important to take action. Anyone can write down goals, but if they just sit there on your notes app, they become useless. You have to take actions. Execution is the key. So I challenge you to write down your goals, 3 to 8 goals, and then start taking action every single day to get closer towards them and make those actions part of your routine. Because once it's a routine and a habit, you are more likely to actually do them. With this, I wish you all an amazing year ahead. You're gonna smash it in 23. It's gonna be an awesome year. I know you're gonna rock it. And as always, stay healthy, get wealthy, and I see you in the next one. Ciao.